Hello, everyone, and welcome. Maria Kliavkov from Healthy Mourning Revolution, here to revolutionize the way you think about your grief and mourning. And what I want to give to you today is this notion that comes from my teacher and mentor, Dr. Alan Wolfelt, that grief is really love's conjoined twin. I want to talk about that for a minute because I want us to really understand what is meant by the grief journey and what is meant by love in this context, right? So when we talk about grief being love's conjoined twin, the reality is when we love someone and then we're experiencing any kind of loss around them, like the physical loss of them, there's going to be grief, because grief is the internal response to loss, and that is any loss. But I want us to think about grief as a journey of love. Grief is really a journey from love to love with love. And what I mean by that is we're moving from the expressions of love that we have known. We're moving from the relationship that was a very physical relationship. And so our love was expressed physically. And that can be everything from physical expressions of love, like intimacy, to bringing a cup of coffee in the morning, or sharing pillow talk in the evening. And those things are very real things that we are missing and that we are grieving the loss of. And if we're smart, we learn how to convert that grief to mourning in healthy ways so that we can express it out of our body and it's not just something that stays inside of us. It's moving to love because what we're seeking is where the relationship is now. My favorite quote you all know by now is "Death ends a life, not a relationship." And so what that means is while it's ending the physical relationship and our physical experience of love, we're moving to another expression of love. And for those of you who had in your wedding vows, "Till death do us part," I invite you to rethink that and repattern that for yourself. It's death did you part physically. And now there's the possibility of finding where the relationship sits now. And so grief is not only a journey from love and the physical expression of love, but it's also a journey to love and how that love gets expressed now. And that's why we have to go through the activities of reclaiming our memories and finding where that connection is now, and really take time and energy to focus on this question. It's a really important question. And here's the most important piece. And grief is a journey with love, because it's all with loving intention. The purpose of the grief journey is to get you from the love that was expressed physically to the love that is available to you now. If you're curious about how to do this, if you're unsure about anything that I've said, please put any comments or questions in the comment section here. I read every comment, and if you have a question, then what we do is we load your question into a cue sheet for our podcast. So we have Healthy Mourning Revolution Radio, and I use that radio channel to answer any questions that come from here and other sources. So please, by all means, put in any questions that you have. In the meantime, please make sure that you like and that you subscribe and that you share this video with other people who may need to learn more about what grief really is, in part so that they can learn how to support you in your grief journey. If you want to connect with me, you can always go to Healthy Mourning. That's Healthy Mourning, MOURNING.com. And we have our live launch coming up. We do a live launch quarterly. It's coming up at the end of September. I invite you to join us for that live launch, because in the live launch, you're going to learn a whole lot more about the myths of grief, and you're going to learn a whole lot more about what the grief journey really is, as opposed to what people have told us it is or what we think it might be. And as we learn more about it, we become less frightened by it, and we're ready to lean in on it a little more and experience what the grief journey really is all about. Because remember, the grief journey is a journey from love to love with love. Much love to you. Namaste.